Hello and welcome to The Real Gigi. On this channel, we discuss necessary and thought-provoking topics for Christ followers of all ages. In the last episode, we talked about things that Christian men are looking for when it comes to dating and courtship. Yesterday, I actually came across this young woman's video, and she was basically sharing her take on questions that she believes that we should be asking as single Christian women when it comes to dating, just to make sure that we are covering all the basics, that any red flags are exposed, and that we are prepared and we're not wasting our time. And I love conversations like this because it's important for us to move with wisdom and to have the tools and the knowledge to be able to make the decisions that God will want us to make for our lives. So definitely excited to dive into today's episode. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll go ahead and watch this video together.
Here are a few questions that you should ask whilst you're courting or before marriage. In no particular order, the first question is, what are you looking for in a marriage? Now, This may sound like a very easy question to ask, but you'll be surprised that people are looking for different things in a marriage. So from a man's perspective, he may be looking for a stay-at-home wife. So someone that would cook and clean, take care of the kids, and not contribute financially. He may not want you to work. Or he may be looking for a business partner, someone that goes to work, someone that maybe your expertise or whatever you studied in college aligns or will be of benefit to his future plans. So let's say you studied project management and he wants to go into business. So he might think, oh yeah, she has skills that will be great for our union. So that may be what he's looking for in a marriage.
That's so real, and yet I feel like so many people don't ask that simple question in the beginning. This is a question that should be brought up within the first couple of dates, because otherwise you might be wasting your time and that person's time if you don't even know where they're looking to move to in life. Because if you're looking for something that I don't desire for my life, why am I here? Why am I here? We can save our time, we can save our money, we can move on quickly before feelings get involved, before families and friends get involved. You can save yourself so much time and heartache by simply asking the right questions early on when it comes to courting, meaning that we are basically dating to marry. We have to go into it so intentionally because we are not trying to date as the world dates. We're not just trying to date for leisure. We're not just trying to have a good time. Like, we're looking to build kingdom marriage and do God's will in the earth and produce family and to be in kingdom partnership. So this question and the questions coming up to follow are so important for us to at least have in the back of our minds.
There's some men that they have to always be right. And there's some women actually both ways. They have to always be right. And if that's the case, then both parties are never going to win. So one person has to be okay apologizing first, even if they know they're in the right. Make sure that you ask, how do you resolve conflicts? Are you one to be avoidant? Are you one to speak up? Are you one to, be angry? Are you one to shout or throw things? You need to know all these things before committing to someone. I, for one, I like to talk. I'm a communicator. If something is on my mind, I need to address it. However, I need some time, okay? I may take a day or a couple of hours to kind of gather my thoughts and make sure that I'm actually being rational and I'm not being emotional, especially when it comes to do with men. If it's my friend,
That's so real. Conflicts are going to arise in any relationship at times, and it's really about being able to be on the same page about the solution. And if you all handle conflicts completely differently, that's something that you're going to want to be aware of, honestly. Save yourself some time. If it ain't sounding right to you, girl, don't even play. Do not play. It's really not worth it. And that's something that, just to be transparent, in my last relationship, before I went on this journey of truly submitting my love life to Christ, I was in a relationship where that question wasn't a priority to me at all, finding out how this person resolves conflict. And the individual that I was dating was a very conflict-oriented person. I think he was drawn to conflict. He was a really intelligent person, but I'm not really controversial like that. I'll stand for what I believe in, but I don't have time to be arguing. So, that just causes unnecessary confusion. These questions have to be asked, point blank, period. We don't have time to waste. Let's dive back in.
That kind of helps us get over conflicts because both of us want peace, and admit if you're wrong, and even apologize. Even if you feel like you're not wrong, apologize and validate their feelings. This is your husband or your wife to be, right? So you want to make sure that you're able to make them feel comfortable to share whatever they're going through without them feeling judged. And especially with men, a lot of men don't want to be open and emotional and vulnerable, because women most times interpret that to
Yeah, this is another thing that I want to do moving forward, is make sure that I help to build a safe environment for my partner where we can both be open and transparent early on. Like no secrets, no hiding things, not sweeping nothing under the rug. Like ask every question you need to ask, because I'm going to be asking questions. So you better ask me too, because you're not finna waste my time. That's all I have to say.
mean that they're weak, right? So you want to make sure that you create a safe space for your partner to be able to share whatever.
And I feel like that's also how you build true relationship and a true bond with the person. Don't hide who you are. Show exactly who Christ has created you to be. If that person is for you, they will gravitate to that. If they're not for you, it's okay. You have someone better on the way. Let's dive back in.
You might think, oh yeah, we've moved past this, and then 10 years later they do something to you because they're still holding on to that grudge. That's the word, holding on to a grudge. So when you ask about their conflict resolution style, also ask, do you hold a grudge? How easily do you forgive and forget? Good. Next question is, what is your love language? Most times we project our own love language onto someone. Like, I love quality time. I love receiving gifts. My husband's love language is acts of service. So no matter how much I spend on a gift, he'll be like, oh yeah, thanks babe. But that's it. He'd rather I cook him a meal. Like if I do that, oh my gosh, like he's always so excited. So
that's real though. You got to know how they receive love, and you have to be willing to give love the way that works for them. That's a part of being in a partnership. It's not doing things the way that it works for you, but being able to serve the other person. And if they're studying you and serving you, you'll get your desires in return, but you got to be willing to also serve as well and actually care about what works for that other person.
So understanding your partner's love language would definitely help you love them better, because you don't have to spend time and effort, trying to love them in a way that they wouldn't even appreciate. And yes, it could be annoying spending money getting your partner a gift and they don't show you the excitement that you're expecting. Understand that that's not what they like, okay? So make sure that you ask so that you can love them exactly how they would like to be loved. Next question is, what is your take on divorce? Do you have any close family member that has been divorced? This will really help you understand how the person views the longevity or the the union of marriage, or the commitment or covenant of marriage. Will they leave a marriage at the slightest convenience? Are they open to divorce?
What are their deal breakers, and do they believe in divorce? Point blank, that has to be asked early on, so we can know if we're moving in alignment, if we're building an alignment, if we believe the same way regarding what we might be working towards.
Are they willing to fight us to the very end? Now, this would also lead on to my next question, which is, what are your deal breakers? This is a very loaded question because it will let you know if you should continue the relationship or just end now. Now, deal breakers could touch a lot of areas. It could touch finances, religion, family dynamic, past relationships. This is a very, very important question, guys. And, with some people's deal breakers, you're able to deal with it. With others, you are not. So, for example, if one of my deal breakers was, you have to be a Christian. No shade of disrespect, but I just would have loved a Christian. This is not a question that you should expect a one-sentence answer. You can actually ask this person to take their time, give them about a week, 2 weeks. These are some of the questions that I asked my husband. And number one was, do you believe in tithing? Now, I'm a giver. I'm a tither. And I wanted to make sure that whoever I ended up with understood the ministry of tithing and giving, because believe it or not, some people don't. Like, you can't be married to someone who doesn't believe in tithing and you're a tither, because God could tell you, go and tithe X amount of money from your joint account, and then it becomes a problem, so
that's real. How you run the finances in the household it's very important that you all are on the same page to avoid conflict. That even comes down to, how do you manage your finances now? What are your financial goals for the future? Where do you want to be in 5, 10, 20 years? Like, these are all really, really important questions, and do not shy away from asking these questions. If the person can't answer these questions, then they are probably not into a place where they're truly ready for serious commitment anyway. Because if you're a mature adult Christian and you're looking to be married, these are topics that you should be thinking about, because you're being purposeful with your life anyway. So it shouldn't be hard for you to answer these questions. But if you can't come up with the answers, then you're probably just simply not ready for serious commitment.
Next was, what is an ideal Sunday to you when we have kids? Again, just to see, the Sunday culture. And
like
because
that.
I want to go to church, come back home, or, after church, go to brunch with the kids and come back home, get ready for school. Just to have that understanding of his vision, I recommend asking that question as well. It's a very cute question to just throw in there. It's not that deep, but, it kind of makes you like daydream a little bit. So I like that question. Next is, do you have a mentor? Do you have a spiritual father? Do you have someone who can speak to you and you would listen? Are you accountable to someone? It's important that you find someone that has an accountability partner, because there's certain times that your spouse may not listen to you, and you need someone that you can speak to that will then speak to that person, if that makes sense. So if he listens to his father, whatever's going on in the marriage, I don't encourage, spreading your dirty linen outside. But sometimes when it gets really bad, if he listens to his father, you can speak to his father. Hey, this is what's going on. Can you speak to him?
That's real. Who's holding you accountable? Who do you lean on? We need to know those things, ladies. For real. That's good.
We also want to observe how he actually treats his mother. So if you have the opportunity to meet her, just observe, and once in a while ask him, oh, how's your mom? Oh, when last did you speak with your mom? And during that, the responses you get will help you create a picture of how he actually treats his mom. Right. Now, as a woman, if she has a good relationship with her father, that's also a green flag or a green light. However, there are some circumstances where she may have other male figures in her life that are father figures. So the goal is to have a healthy balance of a parent and child relationship, if that makes sense. Next question is, how and why did your previous relationship end? This will give you an insight into how they operate in the relationship, if it was their fault or the other person's fault.
And be ready to be transparent. Like, if you really want something that's serious and real, don't hide these things.
Are they pushing blame on the other person? Are they speaking bad about the other person? How people talk about their exes says a lot about them. So here, you want to make sure your ears are on the ground, picking up every single information. Also ask how long the relationship was, if they're still in communication with this person, because some people still communicate with their exes. Another reason to ask how they broke up, if it was a very nasty, rude breakup, then you want to be careful so that the ex doesn't pour acid on you. I'm joking, but you just want to make sure that there's no bad blood. So this will also help you understand how he or she reacts when things don't go their way. Now, this is also another question. If you don't get your way, what happens? Now, some people are more flexible and will just go with the flow. A lot of times that happens. If you don't inherit your parents, you might inherit your great-grandparents' illnesses. So if they have cancer in their family, high blood pressure, diabetes, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you are aware of this so that once you're entering the marriage, then you can take preventative measures, or you can, of course we're Christians, so God forbid we wouldn't inherit anything that is not of God, but we can also be realists here, right? So having an idea of all these things, and also family customs, family traditions, what do you guys believe in? What do your ancestors believe in?
This is very important, especially when you think about building a family and having children and, grandchildren coming into the mix. You're going to want to know even the parents' views and perspectives as well. And that health piece is very important too, making sure that if this person had any health issues that you need to know about. So these are all really, really great questions. I am going to link this video down below in case you'd like to watch the full episode, but I'm going to get ready to wrap it here, and I may do a part 2 to this. Let me know what you all think. And I'd also love for you to share, What are some questions that you keep in mind to ask as well when you are courting and dating? Did she hit on the topics that you would typically want to ask? Did she bring up new questions that you've never asked before? Comment down below. I'd love to see your thoughts. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.